Welcome back to GCTV, welcome back to Stockholm, and welcome back to a very, very intriguing GCL round one, because based on how these teams have jumped on the opening round, based on what, and we'll tell you all about this in a moment, based on what the Stockholm Hearts powered by H&M and the Kunstars powered by the Iron Dames have done, Doha Falcons and Razorback International powered by Kingsland will be licking their lips for the second round of Global Champions League. They will want to get into the ring now and jump GCL round 2 already, because what the Kunstars have done, what the Stockholm Hearts have done, is open the door for the teams behind them. Stockholm Hearts might feel as if they've escaped some damage now with the Kunstars struggling, but that means that the Doha Falcons, Razorback International, etc., the teams underneath them will be licking their lips to try and close that gap and make as much progress as possible. This is how it stands at the end of GCL round 1. These are the standings at the end of GCL round 1. Doha Falcons on 4, 3 teams on 4, all separated by combined time. Razorback International on 4, Prague Lions powered by the Czech equestrian team. We saw Peter de Vos and Angelica Augustin Zanotelli in round 1. Fernando Martinez Soma will come in for round 2. Istanbul Warriors, some time penalties for Abdel Said, find themselves on 6. And then a handful of teams on 8, including the Mexico Amigos, Madrid Emotion, and Scandinavian Vikings as well. But it's the second half of the table that proves to be interesting, because New York Empire out of the race on 24 penalties. Tough day for David Ville, mid-season transfer, who picked up 16 penalties. The Shanghai Swans on 20. Ben Mayer having a tough day. Kunstars on 20. And the Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M We Love Horses, find themselves on 16. 12 penalties for Olivia Philipparts, 4 for Nicola Philipparts. And all of a sudden, the championship leaders here on home soil have a little bit of a difficult second round coming up. The question now is going to be, how much damage control can they do in that second round? But first, it's important that we need to hear from the leading team, and we'll get to that in a few moments' time. But let's talk about this championship battle. Let's talk about how these performances from these two teams have and could well significantly affect the overall rankings. It starts with Olivia Philipparts, who took the decision after he spoke to us at the end of GCL round 1, saying that alongside Jessica Springsteen, there was a talk around green horses and who should give their young horse a go. Turned out to be Olivia Philipparts, and quick tweet, still only 9 years old, this mare, having 1, 2, 3 fences down. He eventually came home on 12. First rider out the gate, and 12 penalties, setting a negative tone for the host team. Nicola Philipparts and his LGCT Grand Prix winner Luna coming out after that, and unfortunately unable to keep it clear. Luna taking a rail down as well. And with that, his 4 takes the Stockholm Hearts to 16 and puts them under some serious pressure at the start of the competition. But it was not just about what the Stockholm Hearts did in that competition in round 1, because as we said, that is very important when you put it into context with the Kunstars powered by the Iron Dames, because they would have been thinking, if we can put in a really strong performance here, we can really eat into this lead. But unfortunately for the Kunstars, who were very late to go, we saw a very, very young horse selection as well, by the way. Jana Fredrika Meyer-Zimmerman, also an LGCT Grand Prix winner this season, bringing in a 9-year-old mare of her own in high level 6. And unfortunately for Fredrika Meyer-Zimmerman, much like we saw for Olivia Philipparts, there was not just 1, not just 2, but 3 fences going down. That sees her come home on 12 penalties. A very, very emotive kiss and cry, because that would not have been the start that they would have wanted. So a clear from Kim Emmen was needed. And unfortunately for In Flame Go, her wonderful 11-year-old gelding, she too had some difficulty with this course. And Frederick de Backer spoke to us earlier on this afternoon about the challenges that Uliana Vidzani had set today on this course. And here we see top riders with really good horses finding life difficult, because Kim Emmen and that very impressive In Flame Go also having 2 fences down, taking their overall tally to 20, and they came late. Penultimate fence going down. Final fence going down. Kim Emmen comes home on 8 and the Kant Stars on 20. They find themselves falling even lower than the Stockholm Hearts on 16 penalties, which means that these top 2 teams of the season are going to be very, very early to go in Global Champions League Round 2. The team that will be last to go, the current and provisional leaders of Global Champions League Stockholm, are the Doha Falcons. Let's hear from the leading team.
You said to me earlier today that this weekend you're here to fight, and that was a fantastic start.
Yeah, for sure, it's already a good start, but it's only half done. The horses were both good, with one down less from my part would be better, but my mare was good. And for sure that we are third on the overall. We will fight for the point and try to catch as much as we can this weekend.
Julien, that was a clear round for you, and Zed Ice Cube, he was fantastic in the arena there. Talk me through your round.
Yeah, he was fantastic. He did also good in Paris. He's in good form now, so I hope my friends will be in good form for the second round also.
Well, talking of that, we've got Jerome coming in for round 2, and do you change horses as well?
Yeah, Jerome is coming with Kellum and me with Dexter, so we will try to continue on the same line.
Third in the championship at the moment. How many, are you really thinking about the points this weekend?
Yeah, we really fight for, and okay, we try to catch as much as we can.
Good luck.
Thank you.
What a performance from the Doha Falcons in the early stages of GCL here in Stockholm, going on to lead. And I wonder then, what is the big impact of that on the provisional table? If we were to take a look at a current standings, a virtual standings, it'll be interesting to see that the Doha Falcons then jump up into second place. That is the big question at the end of today. If it were to end of GCL right now, the Doha Falcons would move up to second place. There would be only 4 points behind the Stockholm Hearts, who would hold on to their lead, albeit by just 4 points. Kant Stars, powered by the Iron Dames, drop down to third, and Razorback International would then move up into fourth, or at least move in fourth place as they continue to close the gap. This is a virtual table of how things were to look at the end of today if things stayed as they currently are. Maximum points haul for the Doha Falcons. Unfortunately for the Scandinavian Vikings, who have jumped well in round 1, despite an 8 from Henrik von Ackermann, a wonderful clear from Evelina Tovak, which we'll see and hear in a moment. They would finally get off the bottom of the table, and New York Empire, powered by Lugano Diamonds, would be the new team ranked in last position. Speaking of the Scandinavian Vikings, so often we expect the clears from Henrik von Ackermann, but this time it was Evelina Tovak who jumped beautifully in front of a home crowd who was so appreciative with a massive round of applause. Let's hear from Tovak following her clear.
Evelina, you really lit up the crowd here. This is your home crowd, and they really were behind you, and a clear round as well. You must be so pleased.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm very pleased with my horse. He jumped great, and yeah, like you said, it's always nice when you're at home to do a clear round.
Henrik had a disappointing round after you. Have you had a moment to catch up with him?
Yeah, just very, very quick. Yeah, he was also very pleased with my horse. He said he jumped great, so yeah, he was also happy.
Did you say it was just unlucky poles that fell?
That we didn't talk about. What I could see, it was a little bit unlucky. She jumped actually good. Okay, I was still walking my horse. I couldn't see everything, but I think he was a bit disappointed. But it was still a good round. Yeah.
Going into round 2, then, what's the plan? Same team, same horses?
Yeah, we will talk about that. It can be that I maybe change to my other horse to take Winnie to instead of Moby, because he jumped good. So maybe I want to give the other one a chance. So I will discuss with him what we do.
Well done.
Thank you.
A big smile on the face of Evelina Tovak, but she does talk about that round of Henrik von Ackermann, suggesting perhaps a little bit of bad luck for the world #1 and Glamour Girl, who had 2 penalties, 2 fences go down to 8 penalties in total. So the Scandinavian Vikings, from a seasonal perspective, 8 at the halfway stage is actually a big improvement, but disappointing for them nonetheless to see the world #1 and Glamour Girl have those 2 rails down for those 8 penalties. A lot of talk today has been around the newcomers, the new faces coming coming into GCL at the end of the transfer window that officially closed recently. We've been keeping an eye on how the newcomers have been performing, and arguably the best of the lot has been that of Kyle Tim from Rome Gladiators, powered by ClubMyHorse.tv, as he goes on to record a wonderful clear on Kandar Mail. Let's hear from Kyle Tim.
Kyle, your debut here for the Global Champions League, and fantastic way to start.
Yeah, really happy. The horse jumped amazing, and for sure it's a little bit intimidating when you see the arena and the rider rosters in Global Champions Tour, but I think my horse is capable, and I think I did a good job by him today, so I'm happy for that.
Yeah, you're really stamping your mark already on the Rome Gladiators. How pleased were you to get the call up from them?
Yeah, really lucky. I'm very fortunate. I have really good owners of these horses with the Rain family who support the Rome Gladiators, and I'm very grateful to be able to contribute to their team with their horses. I think that's a really unique experience, and I'm really lucky to be able to be the one to ride those horses.
When I saw you coming out of the arena, you were showing such praise about your horse and the character that he has. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, he's a horse that maybe you can argue he's a bit stiff, maybe you can argue he's this and that, but in the ring he always tries 110%, whether he's jumping in Canada or here. We were just in Calgary for those shows, now on a Global Champions Tour in a small sand arena, just incredible difference of venues. And this horse, every single time he goes in the ring, he always has the ears for it, he's always trying his best, and yeah, normally if we have a fault it's because of me, but he never stops trying, and I'm really proud of him for that.
It must be so lovely to you. You've got your wife and your kid here as well watching on.
Yeah, we're really lucky to be together as a family this weekend. It's been a very busy beginning 6 months of the year with the Olympic selections and this sort of thing, traveling a lot. Being from Canada, we have to be there, to support our team and things. So it's been a lot of travel, but we're very happy to be here in Sweden. It's actually all three of us our first time in Sweden, so it's been a really nice weekend and the weather's been great. So
amazing. Well, a great start to your team debut for the Rome Gladiators. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Take a look at the smile on the face of Kyle Tim. Welcome to the Global Champions League, and what a welcome it has been for him to jump clear in that opening round for the Rome Gladiators, powered by ClubMyHorse.tv. Unfortunately for Richard Howley, fences going down and time penalties takes him to 10 overall, but take nothing away from that performance of Kyle Tim. Clear on his debut, a mid-season transfer, immediately getting the job done for his team. We take a quick break. When we return, Global Champions League Round 2, the build-up will begin. This fascinating battle between the Stockholm Hearts and Cannes Stars, opening the door for the Doha Falcons, for Razorback International, for Madrid in Motion. Can Scandinavian Vikings get off the bottom of the table? What happens with the GCL Super Cup semi-final top fours? Deep breath. We will have all the answers for you here on GCTV. We'll take a break in Stockholm. When we return, we build up to GCL Round 2. We see you shortly. Bye-bye.
Elegance is an attitude. Of course it is.
In the life of a rider, each jump is a journey, every heartbeat an opportunity, and competition is where the spectacle begins. Every victory, a celebration. Amidst the luxury and elegance, I found my home. I recall the highs and lows as if they were yesterday. But for every triumph, there's a battle fought. For every leap forward, a step back in time. The tension between competitors fuels the fire. It's a dance between skill and determination, culminating in podiums and triumphant celebrations. From city to city, we cross the globe in pursuit of glory, overcoming obstacles and embracing the challenge at every turn. Each rider is a testament to perseverance and dedication. Each competitor a source of inspiration and motivation. As I look back on the journey, I see the challenges, the triumphs, the moments that define us, each memory etched in the fabric of time, shaping us into who we are today. Together, we've written a story of courage and passion. And as we gaze towards the future, let us remember that the true essence of sport lies not in the outcome, but in the journey it inspires. Today begins a new story, and I want to live it with you here in the new season of the Longines Global Champions Tour and Global Champions League.
Don't miss out on the Global Champions 2024 season. We are back, and finally this year in 2024, the Global Champions League enters its 8th season.
It's a team championship over 15 stages, with riders of different nationalities competing on each team.
Every team has a team manager who selects a maximum of 6 riders for the season, and they must contain at least one under 25.
Halfway through the season, the transfer window allows the team's manager to change riders on their roster. This year, the transfer window opens after Paris and closes before Stage 9 in Stockholm.
A maximum of 3 riders travel with each team to each stage, but only 2 of them can compete at the 2 rounds of GCL.
Between rounds, a manager can swap in a horse or change rider.
The penalties of both riders are added over the 2 rounds, meaning there's no drop score.
In case of a tie on points, the added times from round 2 will be the tiebreaker.
The team that wins the stage will add 30 championship points to its tally.
Teams are battling to finish in the top 4 in the championship, as that takes them straight to the semi-finals of the Global Champions Playoffs this year, held in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
And the team with the most points at the end of the season will be crowned 2024 Global Champions League winners.
Well, alongside me now are some fellow Iron Dames, Sarah, racing driver and show jumper Jana. Sarah, I want to come to you first. What has Iron Dames done for you?
Iron Dames has turned my life upside down, you know, like I was trying to be a racing driver for more than 20 years. I achieved a few good results and I managed somehow to survive in motorsport, but I was far away from making it, you know, a job and to realize my dream. And when I joined the Iron Dame in 2021, they changed my life in 24 hours. All of a sudden, I was this international racing driver. I was at the highest level of motorsport in the best conditions. And yeah, Iron Dames, you know, it's a project that is changing life. We are making dreams come true. That's the target. And I was very, very lucky to be one of the few first ones.
Do you find there's a huge amount of pressure on your shoulders? You're in a pink car, you're wearing a pink outfit as well. There comes responsibility with that.
Yeah, sure. You know, the first year I joined the project, we had black cars with pink details. And in 2022, when the media team told us, yeah, you know what, girls, we feel like you're ready now. The cars is going to be black. It's going to be pink with black details next year. We were like, oh, that's a lot of, like, we don't want to be seen as the Barbie girl car, you know, like we don't want to be like ridiculous with a pink car at the bottom of the field. And Well, we made some very big victories with that car in 2022. We won 24 Hours of Spa. We won some race in European Championship, did a few podiums in the World Championship. And all of a sudden, you know, pink was that powerful color in motorsport. And since then, we have this idea that we should own the pink, that pink is not a weak color, and that, yeah, we definitely want to give its power back to pink.
Well, you said it's powerful in motorsport, but it's also incredibly powerful in equestrian now as well, thanks to the Can Stars powered by Iron Dames. You're having such a phenomenal season, Jana. Can you sum up how it's been so far?
Yeah, I mean, we had an amazing start in Doha already, and already in Doha you could feel the power from behind, and you could see a lot of pig caps running around and supporting us. And I think that has even been growing. We are a strong team and we have great support. Also here, it's so great that the racing drivers also support us. I mean, we've also been to the racing, but it's great to have the group come together.
What's it been like as a team to have Deborah as an owner and be part of such a tight-knit team?
I mean, she's amazing. I have to say, for me, as a mom, she's kind of an idol because she also has 2 kids, and what she's done for all the ladies here, for the young girls, for everyone who's coming up, she's really an idol, and I think the whole project is not only about sport, it's about living your dream and go for it, and that's something that really inspires.
It's so inspiring, and it's so wonderful to see a racing driver and a show jumper come together today as well and really join forces, and as you see, say, making dreams come true. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Courageous,
organized, dedication, skillful,
artist,
modern,
genius,
perfection. I'm trying to get in the right state of mind.
I am Peder Fredriksson.
He has a lot of experience, a great rider.
Peder is really inspiring. He loves to share his knowledge.
When you win, you're celebrating together. If it goes badly, you share it with the team. I like it.
But it's not so easy.
He has a lot of skills.
He had made the sport bigger in Sweden. The sport would be different if he wouldn't been there.
Biggest moment with the most pressure, he can stay so calm and so focused.
And that is the answer. How could it be #1 in the world?
And this is pursuit of greatness.
These are some of the hardest shows in the world.
Competing against top of the world.
Each team is required to have one under-25 rider.
If you're good enough, you make it, and if not, then it's a little difficult.
It's not like a car. When it's broken, you bring it to the garage and it's fixed.
It's my special horse.
Yeah, there it is.
He changed my life.
What a start from the championship.
It's overwhelming.
It's a dream come true for me to be here.
The score now rises.
I'm stressed.
You can be on top of the world the one week and then at the bottom of the pile the next week.
Ooh, and it comes to a stop. Jumping good as well.
They always say you're as good as your last round.
Show jumping is down to the finest details.
Not trying to be 5th, just trying to be 1st.
Look at that! Unbelievable!
That one will be hard to beat.
Some of these under-25 riders will be the champions of tomorrow.
This feeling is...
I'm here to win and not just take part.
Last time on Chasing the Dream, 4 rising stars were on a mission to prove that they've got what it takes to be a global champion. As well as delivering spectacular results for their teams.
Today, as we mentioned, not a single fence going
These
down.
young riders can also win big as individuals.
De Vos of Thomas, by a second it is Gilles Thomas who takes the lead. The lead, Konkinam and Sanne Thijssen for 39.1. She has not won it, she won it, she wins it. There's Sanne Thijssen, it's magic, it's unbelievable.
Global Champions League is the world's most prestigious team competition in show jumping. Top riders join forces to form elite multinational teams, competing for the sport's highest prize money.
Some of these under-25 riders will be the champions of tomorrow.
Be as good as we can and compete with the people at the higher level.
Yeah, you want to do it right for the team.
I'm here to win and not just take part.
Winning the Grand Prix in Madrid was, amazing feeling, of course.
Senna was amazing in Madrid. The atmosphere was electric, and Conky Dam was amazing. It was fantastic to see.
She's doing what everybody else wants to be doing, you know. So that's the goal.
Ladies and gentlemen, beating Derek, that will last in the history.
Sanne Thijssen's dazzling Grand Prix win in Madrid had everyone talking about the 23-year-old's strong-willed style.
Sanne Thijssen wins.
I was really surprised last year that Sanne Thijssen decided to start her own business. Because there's more luxury than riding in the business of your father with his horses, no financial risk, no pressure, but she decides to start her own business and to risk it all. I think Sanne has got confidence in herself. For example, in Madrid, she's got Jos Lansing, a world champion, an LGCT Grand Prix winner alongside of her to help her in the jump-off. She ignores the advice of Jos Lansing, goes her own route and proves to the world that her own plan is better than the plan of all those big champions.
And you was full focused, and I had the plan to do the first line on 7 instead of 8 strides. And nobody did that. So yeah, it's a little bit of risk. And when then everything works out and you cross the finish line, yeah, then everything comes out in like full emotion.
The performance of Sanne in Madrid was amazing. She and Conky Dam are such a strong team. So for me, it only motivates me more to do also good. So especially in Madrid, like Sanne won the Grand Prix. And then the day after I was a bit more motivated, and then I won the Copa del Rey. Winning Copa del Rey was something really special. I think it was one of my biggest wins so far in my career.
Welcome to Saint-Tropez, welcome to Global Champions League here at Ramatuelle Saint-Tropez, the French Riviera.
As the league heads into mid-season, Gilles Thomas gets his next chance to shine in glamorous Saint-Tropez.
Van Beek, Romas by far. There's a triple, sinking behind his leg again. Thomas really having to ride the careful stallion.
It's another great weekend for the talented young rider, as he jumps well in both the team and the individual rounds.
At the moment it's mid-season and I'm in the top 10 in the individual rankings. I didn't expect it at all actually. Even before the season I wasn't really thinking about it. I was more focused on the team. Actually to be in the top 10 it surprised me because here there are the best riders and best horses in the world.
The 2022 season is also becoming a milestone year for Mike Kawai, the under-25 rider for the London Knights.
Action!
Hi, this is Mike Kawai. I'm a U25 rider and I'm in London Knights team and I'm from Japan. How I started riding is because my father, when I was little, he always pushed me to ride. I didn't like it actually. Because I had the pain in the ass, when the horse trot, I had the pain. So I didn't really like it, but I said to my dad, okay, let's try. Once I started, I just really liked it. I don't know, just a feeling, And when I was 18, my father one day said, you should go to Tokyo Olympics, which is like, in 3-4 years was Olympics. What are you saying? Like, are you crazy or what,
Mike Kawai's story is an interesting one to follow. 4 years ago, came to Valkenswaard to Jan Tops to be trained. But at that point, he was just jumping over this chair. For Mike Kawai to first go to Jan Tops, not speak any English, go to one of the biggest trainers in the world. That takes a lot of courage.
When my father told me to go to train with Jan, don't have any contact, no connection. So actually we sent the email. After 3 days, no reply. And so okay, then we said, just go. So I arrived there, okay, where's Jan Tops?
Approximately 5 years ago, Mike came to Valkenswaard and asked if he could be trained with us at Stal Tops. And his aim was to go to the Olympics. He didn't speak any word of English. We communicate together, by Google and translate.
I make one letter actually. That's like, I'm from Japan, I want to go to Tokyo Olympics, I'm jumping 120 class, I showed him one paper with English. And when he said it, he was laughing. But I was really serious, because I want to make this happen.
Mike's audacious plan paid off, and show jumping legend Jan Tops agreed to train him.
We started in the 2-star shows, and then at the end he made it to go to Tokyo. He was a reserve rider, but it was already a great accomplishment.
When the federation called me that you are the one that go to the Olympics as a reserve rider, I was like chicken skin everywhere. And then I called my father, I made it, and of course he was so happy, and also Jan, of course.
Mike has been riding in the Global Champions League since 2018, but it's this year that he's become a clear round machine.
Kawai with another clear on Goldwyn. Here he comes, Mike Kawai. Yeah, there it is.
Let's be honest, in the first year, you could wonder if Mike Kawai had a place in Global Champions League. But apparently, Mike Kawai had confidence in himself, and even more Jan Tops. And then this year, you see that Mike Kawai, up until a point, he was the best under-25 rider of the league.
I think this is the best time of my Global Champions Tour, for sure.
He has a lot of talent, a lot of feel. I think Mike, sometimes the discipline, is different with him. He's taking everything sometimes easy.
I think I'm a bad sportsman. I'm hard to wake up a little bit in the morning, but in the night I always awake,
Still think he needs to dedicate more time and needs to become more professional, but that little spark that Jan Tops may have seen in Mike Kawai now is turning into a little fire.
The tour moves on to majestic Hamburg. At the historic Derby Park. Jack Whittaker is eager to get back in the saddle after his spleen injury.
So about 5 weeks ago, and I was walking out the stables, drinking a cup of tea, and just walking past the horse, just a bit of a freak thing, and I was walked past it was behind me, and must have spooked, jumped out and kicked me in the back. I got lucky actually, it didn't get my spine or my ribs or anything, but it lacerated my spleen. I was wary of the spleen. I'm not allowed to get a big bang really for the next couple of months. So I decided it's probably not a bad idea to try and maybe wear a body protector in case I fall off, and gives me a little bit more protection for the spleen.
Hello and welcome to Klein Floatback and its iconic Derby Park in Hamburg for round 1 of Global Champions League.
Will Jack be ready to get back into the competition?
I've been feeling good for 1 or 2 weeks now, so I thought it was a good time to try and start riding again, and all good so far.
Jack Whittaker this season, actually, that kick in the back 3 weeks ago.
Goes for the extra stride, holds for 7 and over the Deutsche Vermögensberatung.
A determined Jack jumps clear in the first round.
Whittaker still recovering from that injury he sustained 2 weeks ago. Horse ins here. There they come. There's a finish. Good start there from Jack Whittaker. Yeah, he is upping the pressure.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Bounce back. What do they say? Back stronger.
Jack smashes it, helping Madrid in Motion to second place, while his uncle John secures first.
I was trying to beat him, obviously. We're going in there as family, but there's no hesitation, we just want to beat each other and come out on top.
Exactly, yes. We have to keep them on these young guys on the toes, We have to make them try a bit harder.
Yeah, no, I thought I rode fantastic, to be honest. And the spleen was keen, so I'm keen then as well.
Meanwhile, although Sanne Thijssen in Konkerdam didn't set the world on fire in Hamburg,
and it is the second last that goes behind not just Saint-Tropez Pirates, but also behind Stockholm Hearts, and the Sultan's drop is now guaranteed of a podium to Grand Prix.
Michael Pender, not to be outdone by his friend Jack, makes it through to the jump-off in the Grand Prix.
Michael Pender.
And finally, the podium, in an unusual joint second place with Andre Thiem.
Yeah, it felt amazing in Hamburg. Kalle was fantastic again. He jumped brilliant. I think that was actually quite cool, at the same time as Andre Thiem. Doesn't happen very often,
Yeah, Mikey, I've known him since we were on ponies. He's always been very, very talented. As you can see, he's got that kind of natural Irish abilities. He's very relaxed about everything, and he just kind of gets on with it. Every time he goes in the ring, he more or less jumps a clear round. I think when we both want each other to win, but we're not going to let each other win, you know?
Well, it's quite simple. We're friends, we're competing against each other, but in the end, the results work itself out. Everybody's trying to help each other as much as they can.
He's pulling up them rankings like no other's firing up there, so I've got to try and follow him, I guess. We've got to fight for it a bit, and at the moment he's beating me more than I'm beating him.
As the championship race continues through Europe, we next meet our under-25 riders in Stockholm, in the historic Olympic Stadium.
But I think today and the upcoming days will be a bit crazy here with all the people, and especially like with the Olympic medals from Peter Fredriksson and all the Swedish team. During the season, you see we have like a lot of U25 riders in the global, and we are all a bit from the same age, so also good friends. And you see when one is in the lead, you want to beat them. It's a little bit, but it's good. It motivates you more, and I think we all put ourselves on a higher level.
I think for sure they are better than me. They are riding much more long time than me. You know, I just started when I was 15. So they wake up, they were already on the horse, you know.
Yeah, Sanne is a good friend of me. She's the same age as me, so we did a lot of youth international shows together. But actually all the U25 riders here in the global, we started with ponies, children, juniors, and it's always the same people that you see, so we have a good relationship with all of them.
Well, my relationship with the under-25 riders are just, yeah, we know each other because of the shows, of course. On the end of the day, we probably have a drink together sometimes, but it's not that I'm really close connected to them. We're not really competitive, like specific between us. It's just between everyone, all the riders.
Friendships aside, how are our under-25 riders feeling about the competition?
We are in Stockholm in the Olympic Stadium in the heart of Stockholm.
I'm also riding in the team this week together with Marcus Ening. Let's hope we can put a good result together for the team. This week I have Luna here. It's actually at the moment my best horse.
This is Q She's one of my top horses at the moment. She's a bit of a character. She's a bit fresh and a bit sharp when she comes to new places. It takes her a couple of days normally to get into it. And we are going for the big class tomorrow, the team competition. So, fingers crossed.
Global Champions League, the round that is the halfway stage of the season. Gilles Thomas now in the rain with Luna van den Hof. He goes for 4, has her on the hind leg, and both approaches work. Gilles Thomas makes it happen with a time fault. With a time fault.
Gilles and Luna jump well, getting only 1 penalty for exceeding the time allowed. But it's a tougher round for Jack and Q Pavaretien.
Whittaker, on the other hand, is one of the leading riders of the season. 5 appearances, 4 clears. The time fault is coming, that's guaranteed. Is it just a time fault or is there also a jumping fault? And how many time faults? Oh, this is very costly. This is very costly. This is 4 for jumping and 6 for time. Jack Whittaker.
To be honest, I didn't feel like I was that slow. I should have gone faster, really. I should have been more aware of the time allowed, and all my fault, really. I'll see if I'm on the team or not. We'll just see what they think today. Probably not, but and I'll hopefully qualify for the Grand Prix. Go to bed and hopefully wake up on the ball for tomorrow.
Global Champions League round 2 here in Stockholm. Here's Gilles Thomas now. Stretching over the back rail, massive jump over the Oxen. She is in super form.
Despite a strong performance from Gilles and Luna, Valkensvoort United just miss out on the podium.
Sure, he's disappointed, especially about the teams. I know Luna, I know she's my favorite. She's such a fighter in the ring, so I guess he's a bit disappointed about that. And yeah, you'll end up just next to the podium, which is a shame for both of us.
And Sanne Thijssen has another disappointing weekend, clocking up 12 penalties in the team class and failing to qualify for the Grand Prix by 1 place.
Oh, and there it drops. There it drops in their hand. They're in Demirsoy on Kiss and Cry.
Jack and Pavarotti were not picked for the team in the second round, but can they pick up their speed as an individual?
Come on, come on, come on. Okay?
Little flowing forward with the upright. And now Aurora Borealis, the northern light. Ooh, and it comes to a stop. Ooh, and it's... Ooh, and Jack Whittaker straight away his safety jacket inflates. Right. That's a good thing.
Fuck's sake. Yeah, no, the spleen's fine, no bother at all. I just left her a bit quiet at the oxy, did I, maybe? Was I inside the time, yeah?
Yeah, we're good, yeah. You were
well inside, though.
Yeah, you were well inside, it was good.
Fuck, you're fucking jumping good as well. If she can jump tomorrow, she can. To be honest, I don't really know. It's a bit of a spooky plank, the last fence, and she's a bit green at this level still. Maybe I just left her a bit too much on her own, and she had to do a bit too much for herself, but these things happen, you know? Yeah, no Grand Prix now for me.
Hello and welcome to the City of Love for the 9th stage of Global Champions League.
Gilles Thomas is here in Paris as a team reserve, so he's taking the opportunity to try out a new horse to this level, Theramas.
This week I wasn't riding for the team because my horse that I took here is a bit less experienced. Needs to have some experience on that level, so he needs to jump a few times it. Also, I go next week to Monaco with him, so I think it's a good preparation for next week. I have like a few horses, but yeah, there are a lot of shows, so it's good if we can step up now to also a 5-star Grand Prix level. Can't take every show your best horses.
Meanwhile, Mike Kawai is back jumping for his team.
Six to get home, and there's the finish, and the time is good. They carry 12 from jumping and 3 from the clock. That adds up for Mike Kawai. Last fence down, who has lost his mojo on Goldwyn.
Unfortunately, Mike fails to repeat his early season stellar performances. Grabbing everyone's attention, however, is another young rider, new to the Global Champions League this season.
My name's Lily Atwood. I ride for Stockholm Hearts as an under-25 rider. For sure, these are some of the hardest shows in the world, and I think for any under-25, it's their first season, it's difficult to get into. You know, you need to do a few shows before you realise how the courses ride, how the arenas ride, because they're all so different. It's overwhelming. You know, you have a lot of pressure to do well for the team.
Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M, is a brand new team in the Global Champions League this year, featuring big-name riders Marlon Barrier-Johnson and Peder Fredriksson.
I wasn't expecting to get on such a good team, but you know, they contacted me, and of course I couldn't say no. When I found out Peder was on the team, it was, you know, amazing. He is always someone that all the riders look up to, so that was definitely really exciting for me, and I just felt so willing to learn from him and everyone else. Yeah, Marlon also, she's, you know, one of the best female riders in the world, and I feel like me and her ride quite similar in some ways, and she's so lovely.
Here in Paris, Lily jumps for her team alongside Lily Keenan.
The shape of the jump over there now. Lily Atwood is doing a great job and is about to produce her first ever clear, as there's a blank, and it's the first ever clear for Lily Atwood.
Both our horses jumped super on day one. A double clear in round 2 really pushed us up. Yeah, it was definitely girl power. Me and Lily are good friends, so it definitely helps.
And it got better and better for Lily, as she finished the weekend with an outstanding performance in the Grand Prix.
Deep stride, he can handle that. And the time is great, and both of the Lilies will jump clear in this Grand Prix. Look at that!
The second place in the Grand Prix was amazing. My horse just jumped so well. He hasn't had a fence down all week, and you know, to be stood on the podium with two other amazing riders was really special. Hopefully this proves that the team doesn't just run on Marlon and Peder. You know, we're a six-man team, not just a two-man team.
The global champions arrive in Monaco, playground of the rich and famous. Mike is determined to get back on track.
Number 9. Jan? Number 9.
Lower a bit and then balance. Nice. Continue 8. Stay tall. Think straight. Good rhythm in the turn a little bit out. First jump the oxer. Stay tall. And keep going, but keep him on his feet. Don't fly.
I mean, nothing special with the distances.
Yeah. Only they're a little bit short for me. 6.
6, I do 5 then.
Hello and welcome to Monaco Monte Carlo for the first round of Global Champions League.
The first day in Monaco goes brilliantly for our under-25s, with Michael, Jill, Mike and Lily all jumping clear for their teams.
And Fast Forward is going to go clear as well. Extra push to the oxer, and it's a clear. Gilles Thomas. And it's a clear finally again for Mike Kawai.
Good boy. Very good. I try to not to disturb him, like nice rhythm to good rhythm.
I think we had a good start. Yeah, Monaco is again a totally different show a bit. During the globals we have all kinds of shows like big grass arenas, big center arenas, but also small arenas under the lights in the evening. And that's here in Monaco. So it's not every horses that fits this kind of shows well, but I think for Fairmars it's good.
Well, seeing this arena on pictures, it really looks small, but actually when you get in there it even feels smaller. I couldn't have too much preparation because they came straight from Paris, but she just lit up in that arena and just felt incredible.
The young riders' spirits are running high.
My horse is in great shape, so hopefully tomorrow he can deliver again and give her good results for the Pirates.
As the day of the final round arrives, Mike and Lily weigh up their...
Welcome along, everybody. You are getting ready with us for Global Champions League Round 2, live from Stockholm. This is GCTV. My name is Mark Lewis, and you join us for Stage 9 of the 2024 season. And there's a really interesting championship battle that is shaping up here today, because you have your two championship contenders in the Stockholm Hearts and the Cannes Stars, 1 and 2 in the title race, both struggling in GCL Round 1. You then have the teams in 3rd and 4th in the Doha Falcons and Razorback International that have performed very well and are two of the leading teams here tonight. So, from a championship battle, we may well be talking about the impact of Stockholm later on this year by the time we get to the big finale later. Let's remind you as to how things ended at the end of Global Champions League Round 1, because the Doha Falcons, as we mentioned, find themselves in pole position. They are in the best position and will be last to go in GCL Round 2. The fastest by quite some way of the teams on 4. Razorback International, powered by Kingsland, they find themselves in 2nd. And the Prague Lions, powered by the Czech equestrian team, will be the 3rd last team to go. Fernando Martinez Sommer comes in on Lady, and Peter Voss makes a horse change as well on NASCAR. But let's not talk about all of the changes. That's exactly why we have Fredrik de Backer on the show. We'll get to him in a few moments' time. But take a look at that Canstars performance. Take a look at that Stockholm Hearts performance. 20 penalties and 16 penalties respectively is not what you would imagine from the leading two teams in the overall championship. Falkensvart United looked very good at one stage, a clear for Marcus Eining, and then unfortunately multiple fences to fall for Gilles Thomas meant that they will not find themselves on a clear just yet. The big talking point now is who then has done what at the halfway moment? Who has spoken to their managers? What have been the decisions made by those managers? Well, let's find out then as to how things will look in Global Champions League Round 2. Let's bring Fredrik de Backer into the show tonight. Fredrik, thank you very much for joining us here on GCL Round 2. Let's talk changes. What is happening for Stockholm Round 2? What have the managers done? Talk to us about how it looks.
Well, I can inform you, Mark, that Madrid in Motion and Mexico Amigos have made no changes. And that's the end of that story. All other teams, so that means that 12 teams have made horse or rider changes between the first and the second round. And there are some significant ones. There are also some surprising teams that did not make a change or changed a rider that didn't see coming. For example, Spencer Smith does not make a horse change. He stays with Casablanca. David Will goes to Zaccorado Blue. Canstars come out very strong with Konkidam and with Messi van der Ruitershof, where Kim Emmen has come off the team. Shanghai Swans, where Ben Meer comes in with Point Break. That's also an interesting couple that comes in now. But yeah, Shanghai Swans, they start with 20 points, Mark. And then we start moving through. And you have to look at, of course, at those leading teams. Like you already mentioned, it is Prague Lions, where Pieter de Vos goes to NASCAR and Fernando Martinez Sommer, he goes to Lady van der Hartenhoeven team on for Riesenbeck. It is only Philip Weishaupt who comes in with Zinedine, replacing Harry Allen with Lukaku van de Bisschop. But Mark, Doha Falcons bring in Jérôme Guéry with Guillaume de Hus and Simon Lestre on Dexter Fontenay, two top-rated horses. Now, the others have to jump their double clears as well, but Doha Falcons come in with such a strong team. Why am I not naming Riesenbeck International? Well, because Riesenbeck International with that nice Van Sorfwich is going to jump her first meter 60 class in a long time. So for Nice, this is a little bit of a comeback at this level. But for Doha Falcons, they are right in their zone also because NASCAR of Pieter de Vos hasn't got those miles recently at meter 60 level. No, this is one for the Doha Falcons where they can creep up on Stockholm Hearts and on Canstars. And those two teams have made changes, but I do think it is too late for them to recover from those blows.
And to your credit, Fredrik, you did earlier on mention and identify Doha Falcons as a team to look out for. They've shown the goods in round 1. They now show the intent in round 2. And knowing what's happened to Team 1 and Team 2 in the championship, all of a sudden now, Doha Falcons' final team to go. It is going to be very interesting at the end of tonight to see the impact on this performance from the Doha Falcons and what it does to the championship table. Jérôme Guéry and Simon de Lestre with a horse change. Dexter Fontenay, as Fredrik points out, will be the final team to go. They will be just ahead of Riesenbeck International and Prague Lions. For now, we take a break. When we return, some rider reaction from the ring here in Stockholm to find out what course walk looks like, what the riders feel about it, and who is going to do what in the second round of GCL here in Stockholm. We're back after a quick break.
Elegance is an attitude.
Of course it is.
is an attitude.
Of course it is.
Welcome back to GCTV. The course walk officially underway here in Stockholm, and we've been talking about this intriguing championship battle that is ebbing and flowing between the Stockholm Hearts and the Cannes Stars. And after both of them found life very difficult in the opening stages of Global Champions League today, we decided to catch up with the Cannes Stars, powered by the Iron Dames, Jana Fredrika Meyer-Zuman alongside Rosie Tapner. Rosie, let's get some reaction.
A team that slightly struggled in the first round were Cannes Stars, and Jana alongside me now. You've opened up the championship here for Doha and for Riesenbeck. Do you think it was a slight mistake bringing a youngster into the first round?
Yeah, honestly, it was not the plan, but then here we had to change the plan a little bit, and I think it's a nice upcoming horse, but maybe she was a little bit green for this class. It was very technical, and of course the team has a little bit been disappointed for the results of the first round, but yeah, like, you know, we never give up, so we try to come back stronger for the second one.
Well, second round you are bringing in Konkidam and Messi as well, some brilliant horses. You've had a look at the course now. How do you think they're going to go?
I mean, I think for sure it's even bigger than the first one, but maybe you can ride it even with a little bit more rhythm. But still, I think there will come some rates down. Hopefully not for us.
Hopefully not for you. You and Stockholm Hearts are at the top of the championship at the moment, both struggling this weekend. But like you said, you can't always have the best weekend.
No, that's true, and it's always also a little bit of tactics. Sometimes you also have to bring a second horse that's maybe a little bit unexperienced, or maybe a horse that's not perfect for this kind of ring. So yeah, we struggled, but we will come back.
You will come back. You heard it here first. Then Cannes Stars, hopefully in round two, will be fighting back.
All right, thank you very much, Rosie Tapner. Thank you very much to Jana as well. Interesting perspective from the Cannes Stars, and as we said, this opens the door beautifully for Riesenbeck International and for the Doha Falcons, who will both be very, very late to go. Fredrik de Backer, let's bring you back into the show. We spoke about changes to the riding lineup, to the horse lineup. Let's talk about changes to the ring. What has GCL round 2 got in store for us from Uliana Virzani tonight?
Well, Mark, if you remember, for our round 1 course analysis, we had 2 different stories that we got from different riders out round 1. For round 2, there is much more of a one similar story. It is significantly bigger, and of course it has to be bigger. It's 1.60 m, but the riders that have given us the information say this is a big, big class. All right, where does it start? Starts here. This is the in-gate, if you remember, just for reference. Starts here at fence 1, and follow this. It starts at fence 1, 8 or 9, probably 8 strides. It goes on to fence 3, 8 or 9, probably 8 strides. It goes from fence 3 to fence 4, 1 says, have a look, probably 8 or 9 strides. Then from fence 4 up to fence 5, it's 7 strides. Then you have a little bit of a breather, but I just wanted to point out that those first 4 fences, though they seem a little bit shattered over the course, they are all linked and all connected together. Then you've got this big loop, 180 loop, and then this line here, Mark, you remember that. That is exactly the opposite of what we jumped in the first round. Now we know how deep that these Dalarian horses sit into the corner. Back rail will be exposed. Very difficult to get with positive rhythm, with positive momentum out of that turn, and you need it because it's a big oxer. And then the 5 into the combination are a little bit steady, quiet. Not only is the distance quiet towards that first vertical, but also you have to jump the double of uprights as well. And then Virzani, of course, puts an oxer to come out of that triple combination. From what I've heard, it's a significant fence, that final oxer, with the slowing down for the double of uprights and the short 5 will need a lot of power to come out of that triple combination. Then there is another option, 8 to 9. Is it going to be an inside 8, slightly flowing, or an outside 9? You can ride both, but it all depends on what you want here. Look at this double combination. And the next fence, at 11 on a quiet 6 strides, a slow 6 strides, slightly on the outside bend. This comes up straight out of the corner, but you see how deep it sits into this corner. There is no room here to square up, Mark. So the question now is, knowing your horse, do you come from fence 8 to fence 9 on the positive 8 or do you go outside on the 9? If you come in on the 8, you'll have that pace and you have to carry that pace all the way through and not get stuck here at 10A. If you go on the outside on the 9 strides, you have a little bit more time to organize yourself. Your rhythm is lower, you're a little bit more quiet coming in, but you need the power over the back rail. However, if that works, you're a little bit better set up for that fence at 11. And we're almost there, not just yet. I've got one more fence to explain to you, that is fence 12. From what I hear, the biggest fence on the course. Biggest fence on the course. Why am I saying that? Well, because this is a short 4 strides to the Liverpool on the landing side at fence 13. The fact is, you have to ride this. You have to ride this. I don't want to use the word aggressive, but I do want to use the word positive or assertive. You have to go and ride that fence, not really attack it, but get a positive shot at fence 12. And then you fly into this line and the 4 gets short, and then it's all about that Liverpool and that final fence mark. Lots of choices, lots of things that are connected. And here at 10AB and at 6, the fences that really come very tight out of the turn. Vezzani has learned a bit from round 1 and he uses it again in round 2.
Oh, Frederick, that looks very big and very scary to me. If you talk about 6 and 7, you can in fact just see it right over my shoulder here. We spoke earlier on about this Delana fence. And if I show it to you here with my left hand, in fact, there it is. There goes the 6 to 7. There is Delana into that triple global champions combination there, right over our shoulder. And that, to me, from here, looks big and scary. Ulian Vezzani challenging these riders, going to that 160 height, making them make those choices, as Frederick de Backer says. And we know that there are going to be difficult choices made. Time penalties, do they come in? How many fences fall from the championship contenders? That group that's trying to chase them. That's why this becomes such an intriguing Global Champions League round 2 to follow. How then are Prague Lions going to tackle this? We know they had a very good opening round 1. Angelica Augustin Zanotelli with a single penalty, a single fence going down for 4 penalties, shall I say, and Peter Vos on Tupi de la Roque jumping clear. Now the Vos comes back in with NASCAR, and Fernando Martinez Soma brings Lady in. Let's hear from FMS as to how he then will best challenge these courses set by Uliana Vezzani.
Yeah, thank you. I'm in the arena now with Fernando Martinez Sommer for Prague Lions, who have, for round 1, that was fantastic.
Yeah, we had a good round. All the horses jumped very good, so hopefully we keep going second round.
You're coming in for round 2. You're bringing Lady in as well. How are you feeling ahead of round 2?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. She's been jumping really good lately. Yesterday she was a bit sharp, but I think it helped doing one class for today, so hopefully it goes well.
Let's talk about the course then. You've walked the whole thing. As an overall, how do you think this course is going to fare?
Yeah, I think it's a tricky enough course. Starts very nice, and then when you get here in the turn to number 6, I think if you get really tight there, you go against the side. It's a wide oxer, very square, before a kind of like, I think it's a careful triple combination. So I think you want to give a little bit extra room there before the triple.
Should we walk it? Let's walk it. So from here, obviously you've got to have a good jump into here as well. Talk me through this as you walk it.
I think after the vertical, I'm just going to go a little bit wider here to the oxer to make space for the front rail. And then the 5 walk nicely to the triple. You want to slow down there to the triple to be careful with the verticals and just leg out for the oxer.
Let's walk it then. We've got our mascot alongside of us. Thank you very much as well as we walk this course. And as you're walking here, you can see here actually, it's very open. You're heading straight for the exit as well.
Yeah, I think after the big jump in the oxer, horses are going to open a little bit in the air. And then the triple is a bit steady, going towards the gate. Tall verticals, nothing below, so I think they're going to go a little bit flat in this triple.
Well, he's built a tricky course for round 2, but fingers crossed that Prague Lions can come out very well today, as round 1 was fantastic. Hopefully round 2 as well. Mark, we will head straight back to you.
Thank you very much, Rosie Tapner. Thank you very much to Fernando Martinez Soma. There was a lovely piece on Lady van der Hartenhove in Paris on the previous stage. And now, once again, we will get to see the wonderful 13-year-old Gray come back out for the Prague Lions. GCL Round 2 is just moments away. Stay with us here on GCTV. Did I say GCTV Round 2? I meant Global Champions League Round 2 is moments away. And it's brought to you here on GCTV live from Stockholm. So stay with us. Get your GCTV Live Pass and join us for the second round of GCL Stage 9 here of the 2024 season to find out who is going to go on and win not just the stage, but make up major ground on the championship table as well. It's all next, live from Stockholm.
Exactly 11. As you can see, the wind is blowing and it brings in rain clouds, unfortunately. However, today we'll just stick with the wind, normally no rain. That for the qualifier and the second round of Global Champions League. Plenty of Swedish riders like this Emma Emanuelsson, who tried to qualify for the Grand Prix over the course that has been built by Italy's Uiano Vezzani. The Italian with an impressive team here around him, supported by Swedish course designer Peter Lundström, Pier Francesco Vazzocchi, his regular assistant Sarah Brink from Sweden, and Peter Witze, a Belgian assistant course designer. Peter Fredriksson there in a chat with Yuri Mansour it was, and in hospitality, a glimpse of the Monaco Aces team. These boys lead the Doha Falcons. They are on top of the board after round 1 and can make up a lot of ground at the championship standings, can become real championship contenders. David Will brought his dog to Stockholm. Philip Weishout brought his boss to Stockholm. And that raises the question, who will bark the loudest? Everybody ready and everybody set for the Grand Prix qualification. One more look at Emma Emanuelsson, and then straight away also a look at the start list, because a group of 47 riders will come forward, meaning that only 7 will not make the cut. Tovek starts, then Duffy, Mansour, Manuelsson, as we said, then Allen Harketaar, Stout and Steiner, Whittaker, Likammer van Helmond, Emmen, Hellström, Watle, Skau, Fredriksson, and Angelica Augustsson, Zanotelli, Daniel Dose, Linda Head as well, and then Leonie Böckman. As from number 20, Smith and David Will, those are the teams. Sanatese has come in, Jan-Frederik Meyer Zimmerman. We saw Meyer with Point Break, the Philippard brother on the H&M horses. Carl Tim has moved to Casino Calvin, Howley on Zodiac, Ening on Priam, Thomas to his Grand Prix winning mare Luna. And then further down, the H5 horses of De Menezes and Hanguerrero. And at the end, the superstars in Jérôme Guéry and Simon de Lestre, and even more in Kelom de Hus and in Dexter Fontenay-Z. Only 7 will not qualify. Just imagine being part of that group of 7. The better you qualify, the later you start in the Grand Prix. Well, you don't want to think about not making the cut, as it's easier to be in the Grand Prix than out of the Grand Prix. But still, 7 will not make it. 7 will not be part of tomorrow's elite group for the Longines Global Champions Tour of Stockholm Grand Prix, in which we will not see our championship leader, Eduardo Alvarez Aznar, mixing up the Spanish riders. But it's an open race then for Kuhner, Kukuk and others to overtake the Spaniard, who has been leading the championship for quite a while now.
Van Eckerman on kiss and cry, Fredriksson with him as well. And Tovek is first to go. With Winnie 2 de La Mante Z. Tovek based in Kessel. With Van Eckerman. In the Netherlands, that is. And that's not so far from where Winnie 2 was born. That is the Liège region in the south of France. With the Wirra family. Winnie 2 by winning mood and Socrate de Chivre. There goes Evelina Tovek, and let's discover this course built by Ujano Vezzani. How does it ride? Global champions. Positive 8 to the Viking ship. 8 to the upright. It's all on 8s and then 7. Now a little bit of time. Difficult to come out of the corner here for the Dalarna horses. Five into the triple, quite fast. Jumps that really well, Winnie 2. Oh, that's deep. Oh, Agria just over on 8 strides. Now, out of the turn, the bird combination, 2 strides, deep. Oh, and then unbalanced in the landing. And the 6 for Tovek. Oh, still searching for her right stirrup, found it. Final line, big oxer. And then 4 to get home. And it is 4 indeed, 73.87. Time allowed is 77 seconds. Not a bad run, but somewhat of a difficult approach into that double. Winnie 2 and Tovek. Winnie 2 and Tovek out on 4 Grand Prix wise. That should be good. That should be enough. Over to Michael Duffy and Dublin. Here's the Miami Grand Prix winner, Irishman Michael Duffy. Look at the stride of this impressive horse, the Hanoverian. One stride less on 7 straight away. And here on 7 again, really using that big stride. Great shot. It's a very careful horse. Oh, and that was beautifully ridden. You see how quick that Dublin came back on the demand of Michael Duffy, but the back rail coming out of the triple is down. Reduced the pace for the first 2 verticals of the triple. Then lacked the momentum, the punch to come out of the triple. Duffy on 4. Still faster, much faster than Tovek. 2 seconds at the first split. And then turning into the final line. That's down is the last one. It's 8 penalties in 67.73. Fantastic time from Duffy, about 6 seconds faster than Tovek, but unlucky at the finish. That final vertical on the short 4 strides, especially following the big push. Here, all of a sudden, beautiful how he comes back. It's a front leg, no, yeah. And a stud girth. I think the front legs would have left it up, but it's a push with the belly that was just too much.
for Duffy and Dublin. Mansour with Miss Blue Saint Blue Farm as a correct name, this all Brazilian combination. Bred in Brazil, Brazilian owned, and of course Brazilian rider. Slower than the leading time of Tovek, the split time tells us, but still clear. Mansour did not make the cut for the Paris Grand Prix, not amongst the 40 best. That's a good clear. Yuri Mansour with Miss Blue Saint Blue Farm. Very simple, very efficient. The mare just 11 now, 10 last year is when we first got to know her. And then in no time took the show jumping world by storm. Then end of the year was out with an injury. And now this smart animal were the first clear of the afternoon. Slowest clear, that's true, he's a second and a half inside the time, but it's the first clear and an important one for Yuri Mansour with Miss Blue Saint Blue Farm. Swedish rider Emma Emanuelsson with Kambella Blue PS. Kambella by Cantolar and Chacoblu, 10 volts with 2 meters 60 classes under her belt. One last year in Falsterbo here in Sweden in the Grand Prix where she was eliminated, and this year, recently, middle of May, in the 4-star in Hohenkirchen where this mare jumped double clear. And so, despite not being the biggest name, not without a chance in this Grand Prix qualifier. And qualifying would mean the first ever launching Global Champions Tour Grand Prix for Emma and Kambella Blue. Oh, that's a stretch for brave mare. Just a touch too deep, and that difficult turn out of the corner. No clears, but now looking at the time of Tovek, the 73.87. She'll get in front of Tovek. Can she leave the last one standing? Yes, she can. And so it's second place for Emma Emanuelsson with Kambella Blue PS. I believe they can go back to the stable and focus on the Grand Prix of tomorrow, because this result should do it. This should be good enough for tomorrow's Grand Prix for Emma Emanuelsson and Kambella Blue here. First Global Tour Grand Prix in their career is coming up tomorrow. Sun comes out for Lukaku and Harry Allen. Look at how direct they have to make that turn from the vertical to the Oxer and then wait for the 7. Harry Allen is running this like a speed class, as did Michael Duffy. And now, out of the double, out of the triple rather, 4 seconds up on the time of Mansour. Great support there to come out of the combination. It was a great jump of Lukaku over the Oxer, but then the support of Harry Allen to come out of the double. Final line to come, quicker than Mansour. Deep strike to the Oxer, and the back rail is gone. 4 penalties, 4.08 now for Harry Allen, 70.11. A great run, but then the deep stride to get the small jump over the Oxer to have room enough for the 4, but the small jump was too small on the back rail. And then Lukaku dropping his eye at the Liverpool. Faratan with Julien Anquetin, who has stepped down from Doha Falcons. Anquetin, yesterday's winner in one of the opening speed classes. Six extra stride, and now the push, the power available to Julien Anquetin. That cost a lot of effort for Faratan, but the mare is a bit of a fighter. She's a real warrior in the ring. The 6 to the Oxer, and now rolling back. This is once again faster than Mansour, but so was Harry Allen. And then now it's the front rail, gave more room than Harry Allen, but the same mistakes on the last and the second last. Also Julien Anquetin with a very fast 8 penalties. He is now 4th with Duffy and Harry Allen behind him. And these 3 men have all produced the fastest runs, but none of them have gone clear. All 3 of them have come through on 8 penalties, and plenty of those on those final 2 fences. The Arad Tamerville of the Breuer family. The string of disappointment there. Stout and Baudelaubry. This is already number 7 in the qualification. Oh, stretch. Was that planned? I think that Baudelaubry backed off a little bit more than expected. And it's not the easiest round for Stout. Come on now. Oh, this is another big effort. Oh. Look at Stout work in that saddle. Quiet 6 for the big striding horse was not the easiest. Now comes that dreadful final line. Stout leaves 1 fence standing. Stout leaves the last fence standing, and Stout is clear.
67-61, and Stout has taken the lead, not only with the second clear of the afternoon, but also with the second fastest round of the afternoon. Kevin Stout from France with Baudelaire Brizet from Belgium in the lead after the first 7 in this Grand Prix qualifier. Oh, the stretch. Over to Nadia Peter-Steiner, and no comment de Septembre this weekend for her, no duties on the Mexico Amigos team. And somehow when he gets a little bit fiddly with his mouth, she always manages to get him to relax just at the right point at the takeoff. Time-wise, she's not as fast as Kevin Stout. Stout was, of course, lightning fast, 8 seconds faster than Mansour. There's the front rail. And now we're looking at fours, the fours of Tovek and Emanuelsson. And there's another one now on 8. Ay, ay, ay. Pace-wise, she could even risk a time penalty. Nadia Peter-Steiner, 77 is allowed, and it's 75-20. But she is last at the moment. 8th after 8 riders. With 39 still to go, that's correct. But that result stands, and she needs 7 pairs to rank behind her in order to qualify for the Grand Prix. Quick start of Jack Whittaker and Equine America. Q Paravati. The Q for the sire for quality time by Quantum. And the back wheel gone, and now another one puts him on 8, and that's in the group of Alcott, Duffy, Allen and Nadia Peter-Steiner, all competitive pairs that are now fearing for their spot in the Grand Prix. Losing the grip on one of those 40 places in the 9th Grand Prix of the season. Also Jack Whittaker now. Pace-wise is not there with Alcott and Duffy, more in the bracket of Harry Allen, the 70.11, which puts Harry Allen in 7th. Gone, and last he ranks as he meets the finish line. 12 it is in the end, 20 rather, for Jack Whittaker and Equine America, Q Paravati, and in a disappointing run for the Brit. There is Koberlina TN, as number 10 to go, with Erika Lickhammer van Helmond. The TN for Team Nijhoff, and this is truly a Team Nijhoff horse, as sire and grandsire stand at stud
en Geesteren. Coberlina is signed by Eldorado. And then Verdi. Coberlina with a 1.60 m class under her belt. A 4-star Grand Prix in Sopot a week or two ago. Now in her second qualifier. It could also be the first ever LGCT Grand Prix for Erika Lighammer. Look at a steep landing over the Dalarna horses, and then a good stretch from Coberlina. Great effort. Checking the grip on the reins, Lighammer. A bit slower than Kevin Stout, that's not a problem. A clear would be a tremendous result. This horse's first clear at 1.60 m. Look at that, first ever clear. Erika Lighammer, Coberlina TN. Now with that, the best Swedish result as well. She'll jump tomorrow's Grand Prix. It's going to be a huge test for Coberlina and for Lighammer at the age of 9. But hey, they're here anyway. They've traveled from Holland back home, back to Sweden. And Coberlina with a tremendous clear round in this Grand Prix qualifier. Best Swedish result from Erika Lighammer and Coberlina. And her son's delighted with Mom's performance. Now we can see you. On course, Kim Emmen and Ireland. Emmen, who came off the Can Stars team that sits second last after the first round of GCL. And luckily, also Stockholm Hearts sit in the same regions after round 1. And so, championship ambitions still alive. Kim Emmen as individual with this very talented horse. Rocco and Indoctro, the horse making a comeback after an injury break. And the first rail, now in the group of Emanuelsson and Tovek. 3 clears, 2 4s and 4 8s. Now joins those on 8. Skinny Oxer, did you see that? Oxer there at 11. And home, and that is in 8 indeed. And the time is just good. She's just inside the time allowed, but what does it bring her? Not much. She is a second last after the first 11 and fearing for her spot in the Grand Prix. I'm afraid for Jack Whittaker that is already a done deal. The 8 of Kim Emmen are an issue for her, and it's going to be a fairly long waiting game for the Dutch rider. She has to sit there for another hour or more, an hour or so, before she'll realize or she'll know that she is in that Grand Prix of tomorrow or not. Wilma Hellström with CCBGN, CC, my CC Senor and Tornesh. Oh, a bit of a stretch there to get there on the 8. Nearly did not make it. Reliable horse is a CC, horse of a lifetime. You could say Swedish bred by a Danish and a Dutch stallion. CC Senior for a Stuteri Ask. Tornes with Malin Bayard, of course. Clear all the way and fast as well. Clear all the way, Wilma Hellström in 71.88. The Swedish women performing excellently this afternoon. Clears from Hellström, Lickhammer van Helmond, and then falls from Emma Emanuelsson and from Evelina Tovek. There's 4 Swedish riders inside the top 6. And how many big Swedish miles have we seen now this afternoon in this Grand Prix qualifier? Wilma Hellström's is another one. Now to Gregory Watley, and Watley is on Bond, James Bond here. And that's number 13 in this qualification. As mentioned, we've got 19 individuals before we crack on with the teams. Bond, James Bond. Deep stride to the upright, and then this huge stallion still manages to be quick in its legs. In the shadows. By the grandstand, rolls back to the line of 8 on the angle. There's the 8 indeed. And now the final loop. Waiting 6 and short 4. That's it, another clear, 71.89. Also, Watley has gone clear. We have got 5 clears now after the first 13. They found the key to the success, to the secret of Italian course designer Ojana Vezzani. We now also a clear for Gregory Watley. And Bond, James Bond there. Cheers and support for a Dane. Just across the border, the Dane Andreas Skau with Billy Matador. Skau this time not on Istanbul Warriors, and you have to say Skau is really flying over this qualifier. Big rub there at the golden rails of Norrviken. Can Skau keep the jump together at this pace?
still up, Skau, clear. 16.989, that is the second best time, Andreas Skau. He has Daly's Beauty here as second horse, so this Billy Matador will also have to jump the Grand Prix tomorrow. So this was a perfect preparation and qualification for Andreas Skau. Norwegian with the hind leg. Big rub, big touch. Yeah, his brother, Christian. Himself a championship rider as well back in the day for the Danish team. And here's the biggest Swede of them all, it's Peder Fredriksson with Vroom de la Pomme Z. Fanatic cheers for Peder from the Swedish fans on Vroom by Viggo Darsui and Untouchable. And also Peder is confident about Vroom's ability. Not wasting any time. The ease, the confidence that he has. Look at him move up, light in his saddle, but now on the back rail. Did he come back too early with his body in the landing to anticipate on the short for Peder Fredriksson with Vroom? Fast four indeed, fastest four indeed, in 67.43. 7th place for Peder. And Vroom de la Pomme. Vroom, he went round, but then second last down. This is the skinny oxer, then he rolls back. And does he come back too quick with his upper body? Maybe. In the landing, already sitting up, making more contact maybe than normal with his hand. And the Swedes keep cheering. As the Swedish riders keep coming. Here is Angelica Augustsson Zanotelli with Kalinka van den Nachtigalen. I don't know if you can hear those cheers, but every Swedish rider, I think, gets a personalized cheer song from the fans here. And it's a goal. Global Champions is really alive in Stockholm. Angelica with Kalinka. Reactive. Over the outside. That's gone. Keep it together now, stay with the 4 penalties. On the 4 should be good enough as well. 75.38. And let's be fair, at this point, if you consider those on 4 penalties qualified, because there is 7 riders behind him, so everybody on 4 is qualified at the moment. Of the 10 that are qualified, 6 are Swedish. Whoa. The Swedish really rolling their muscles, showing off their muscles.
in the qualification where Daniel Loise comes in. On Otello, some expected him to be part of the Shanghai Swans. This weekend, however, no role for him. He's got a bit of free rein to compete as individual. Loise and Otello de Guldron. Son of Scuderia 1918 Tobago. And also Otello with that same front end as his sire. Gone, just like with Augusto Zanotelli. That was, however, the entry into the triple. Now it's the center. And that's another one. Enzo Doser is on 8. And in the group that is not guaranteed of a spot in the Grand Prix. Daniel Doser with Otello. Light fault in the Birch-Oxer combination. The vertical came down, coming out of the two-stride combination. Doser in 72.62. He's 14th with 3 riders behind him. He actually needs 7 riders behind him in order to qualify for the Grand Prix. That's not much, is it? That's an annoying rail for the German. Lindahed and Sky landed VS yesterday. Fantastic clear. Competitive here as well on this Skylander. And no Swede on more than 4 penalties. 2 Swedes clear. Primo Hellström with the best result, and there's a 4 for Lindahed, again in the triple. And there's the other Swede, the next one on just 4 penalties. She'll also be in the Grand Prix. If you would look at the standings from 7th to 11th, it's all blue and yellow. Fredriksson, Heerd, Emanuelsson, Tovek and Augustsson Zanotelli, all on 4 penalties, one after the other. That's a ship full of Vikings. In the background you can see it. It starts with Peter then Lindahed, who is 8th on 4 penalties on this Skylander. And that worth, by the way, 1 to go before the break, before the start of the teams. When Leonie Buckman and Cartier comes in. '25-year-old German rider from the famous Botman family, Oldenburg region. Ooh, a bit of that distance to the Oxer, but then a great stretch from the homebred Carter. Bred out of Botman's father's great man. No father's girl was not the easiest sentence to understand. Her father wrote no father's girl. A great Grand Prix and World Cup mare, of which the father was unknown. So Botman is wasting a bit of time there in the turn. Carter plays with the dimensions. Just a time penalty, 77.67. That's a fantastic round for Leonie Buckman, who has just qualified for her first Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix in her career on Carter. Single time penalty. I hope that her teammates for Valkenswaard United do at least as good, or they could have used this young German rider in Global Champions League. Buckman and Carter, the difficult landing there after the triple combination. And then just outside the time allowed, just over half a second. And so one time penalty, and in seventh, Leonie Buckman with Carter. Standings. De clears from Stout, Skou, Hellström, Watle, Lickhammer van Helmond, Mansour. Clear but not in time, Leonie Buckman. Fast but not clear, Peter Fredriksson. And then that whole country, you could say, those 5 Swedish riders on to the next. Fredriksson to Heer, to Emanuelsson, to Tovek, to Augustsson, Zanotelli, and then the fast 8. We close here as we continue with the 14 teams in their second round of Global Champions League from Stockholm. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Stockholm, to the Olympic Stadium for the second round of Global Champions League. And just an hour after we ended the first round, team managers have gone and made changes to their teams, to their lineups. They've changed horses, same riders but new horses, but all new riders could have come in as well. Well, actually, only 2 of the 14 teams did not make any horse or rider changes. And here you see Janne Frederike Meijer, who has gone from high level now to her Grand Prix winning horse, Messi van het Ruitershof. The Cannes Stars have got some catching up to do. We'll inform you about that in a minute, about the results of Global Champions League round 1 and the actual standings going into round 2. But if you weren't there for round one, there's a few surprises coming towards you. That is Richard Howley, last chat with the FEI stewards, as we are reminded that Stockholm Hearts were actually traveling to their home stadium with the ambition to make it for the first time in GCL history a three-peat of winning in 3 consecutive years at the same stage. But Stockholm Hearts sit 11th after the first round, so winning, I don't think so. On the other hand, there's plenty of opportunities as we have one more look at the standings coming to Stockholm, where the Hearts led by 5 points over Can Stars. The Stars 17 in front of Doha Falcons, but that could very well change once you see the outcome of round one. At the bottom, the Swans, the Empire and the Vikings. How about looking at the highlights? How did Global Champions League round one come about? Here are the Bright Lions. The Lions with their newcomer, Angelica Augustsson-Zanotelli. She racked up a single rail and thus 4 points, but the Vos, Peter de Vos with Tupid Larocque, managed to stay clear and keep the team total on just 4 penalties. Time-wise, they weren't the fastest of the lot, but with 4 penalties, they're actually on course for a podium finish and level with the other teams that are in front of them, like Riesenbeck International with Harry Allen on Lukaku van de Bisschop. The Irishman had Lukaku jump for a single rail and 4 penalties. Luckily, Koekoek flattened it out with a clear on Nice van het Zorgvliet. When this clear was produced, Riesenbeck actually took the lead. But late in the first round, Doha Falcons came in. The Falcons with Alcata on Z, Ice Cube Z, and Simon Lestre on Olga van de Kruishoeven. Alcata with a fast clear, the Lestre with an even faster, but 4 penalties. When it came down to combined time, Doha Falcons were 7 seconds up on the clock compared to Riesenbeck International. And so the Falcons would be last to go, though they have made some significant changes. This is once more an overview of the standings. 4 teams on 4, the Warriors with a good performance just on 6, and then those teams on 8 penalties. Fast Vikings, then Amigos, Madrid in Motion are in that group as well, just like Valkenswaard United. But at the bottom, the surprises: Stockholm Hearts 16, Can Stars 20, and with the new signings, still New York Empire in last position going into the second round. That due to the results of Spencer Smith and this new signing, David Bill. The course that has been built by Oyana Vezzani will decide who is going to win this 9th stage of the season. And Vezzani has made this course significantly bigger. Starting on the vertical of Global Champions, a little bit of a dog leg in that line on 8 strides to the Viking boats. And no rest for the wicket. It's 8 and 8, 1 to 2 and 2 to 3 to the upright. And actually, that fence 4 comes so quickly that is also a related distance on 8 strides, the Lugano Diamonds Oxer. All those 8s are a little bit far away, so you have to go and look for them. And then these 7 are slightly steady, slightly normal. 180 turn into a very technical combination. Out of the turn, you find fence 6, the Dalarna horses, and then on 5 strides you enter the Global Champions League triple combination of 7 ABC. It is expected to come in on 5. There is an option for 6, but then you have to make sure that you find enough power to come out of that Oxer right at the end of this triple combination. Vertical, vertical Oxer. And there you'll finish. Not overly tall, but wide. As you land, dive into the turn, come round for Norrviken, followed by an inside 8 strides to the Agria Oxer. And then it's a difficult approach into the next double. The Birch double, Birch Oxer, Birch vertical, 2 strides in the combination. And then a 6-2, what is a skinny Oxer at 11. From the skinny Oxer, it's completely the opposite. It's a huge, tall and wide Oxer at fence 12. You need a lot of push and a lot of power. You need to be very committed to that jump. And first the jump and only later the short 4 strides to fence 13 with a Liverpool on the landing side. This is how it sits. This is how it looks. This is how it has to be ridden. Now, how about those horse and rider changes? He did not calculate about horse or rider changes. He had to design this course already before round 1 was over. He had to build it, of course, straight after round 1. So he does not know what has been changed. For example, the fact that David Will goes to Zachorado Blue for New York Empire, starting on a score of 24. It's 24 Ken Stars. Great horses now, but maybe too late. Konkidam en Messi van het Ruitershof. Swans now with Ben Meyer on point break. Kuhner stays with Julius Kaiser, who was for 12 in a GCL round 1. Aces, powered by line of portraits with Levy and Ines Jolie. Féline Faucon is your horse. This team also on 20. Then on, sorry, that was on 19, Monaco Aces. 16 for Stockholm Hearts, where Philippards goes from Quick Tweet to Miro. Gladiators with 2 horse changes, both for Carl Tim and for Richard Howley. And then United, where Gilles Thomas has gone to Elfra van Beek. Madrid Emotion don't make any changes. Team on 8, just like Valkenswaard, by the way. Mexico Amigos also on 8, and also no changes at all. Castelmemo and Portos Maestro. Vikings make 2 changes. Out goes Tovek, in comes Nicolas Paul. Van Eckerman to King Edward. That team on 8 penalties. And then on 6, Istanbul Warriors, where Geraldine Straumann with Long John Silver has come in alongside Abdel Said. Then Prague Lions team on 4 with De Vos and Martinez Sommer. Riesenbeck with Weishaupt replacing Harry Allen. Team on 4 penalties, and last to go, 2 new horses. Simon Lester changes to Dexter Fontenay. Guéry with Calom replaces entirely Z Cube Z and Julien Anquetin. Also a team on 4. They are last to go. Leading team after the first round of Global Champions League here in Stockholm. Smith comes in. That means that the games are underway. The games have begun. And New York Empire with Scandinavian Vikings sitting so high after round 1. Don't forget that the Vikings are 5th, and so 5th last to go. There is a fair chance that New York Empire will land last after this stage here, with only 6 stages left to go. Smith with Casablanca in round 1, responsible for 8 penalties, and electing not to ride HHS Seattle will give this mare the chance to prove herself. Casablanca by Conteur. Back rail gone, and Lugano Diamonds, the team's partner. Oof, and a strong knock at the vertical as well. The rail rolling in the cup. Three gone for Smith. Team at 36. and all of a sudden it has become very reasonable that New York Empire are going to be last on the championship standings if Scandinavian Vikings make up or score 9 points more than New York. And it has happened. This high-profile team. 20 for Smith, 44 for the team. And keep in mind that David Will is still to go. They'll say nose the mare. Casablanca. Over to David Will and Zacorrado Blue. And of course he has to try to get a good result in for the team, but with the reality, realizing that actually there is not that much that he can do at this point. The damage is done. I'm afraid that this is going to be one of the higher scores in New York Empire's history. And that is a very negative record, I am afraid. Finish inside the time, a team total of 15-6. That's not a bad day at the office, that's disappointing all round. For Zacorrado, for David Will, and for the entire team.
Well, that is what you call a pretty tough day at the office for New York Empire, powered by Lugano Diamonds. What should, without a doubt, be last place in Stockholm. And if I'm not mistaken, they have never finished in last place in a GCL competition. 56 penalties combined. David Will and Spencer Smith, 20 and 12 in round 2. Makes for very, very difficult reading. Stars, powered by the Iron Dames, are next from a championship perspective. This is a massive round. So sign up for your GCTV live pass, watch it with us, and keep an eye on what happens to the overall ranking and the championship story of GCL 2024.